The palace corridors had been unusually silent for days, as if the walls themselves sensed the emotional storm gathering within. Rumors floated through the air like fragile whispers, rumors of a truth Sheikh Hamdan had carried in his heart for far too long. Everyone knew something was unfolding behind the royal doors, something delicate, something deeply human. No one imagined that this truth would become the turning point in a story that had silently shaped the royal couple's lives. Sheikh Hamdan had always been admired for his graceful leadership, poetic soul, and the gentle way he carried the weight of a nation. But even the strongest hearts hold secrets, and his was a truth he had protected not out of fear but out of love. His wife sensed it, not through words, but through the pauses in his voice, the distant reflection in his eyes, and the way he sometimes drifted into thoughts only he could understand. She knew a truth existed, and she longed for the moment he would finally share it. The day she finally asked him directly, her voice wasn't demanding, it was soft, trusting, and filled with hope. She simply said, "Hamdan, tell me what your heart has been guarding." Her sincerity broke through the final barrier he had kept around his emotions. He knew that honesty was no longer a choice, it was the bridge that would take them to a deeper, more meaningful chapter of their marriage. His silence had served its time. Now, truth needed to speak. As he began to reveal what he had hidden, the room felt heavier, yet strangely warm. His confession was not a scandal nor a betrayal, but something far more intimate, an unspoken emotional struggle he had never allowed himself to express. He revealed the inner pressures of leadership, the constant fear of disappointing those he loved, and the burden of carrying everyone's expectations while feeling he had no space to express his own vulnerability. It was his truth, the truth his wife had sensed but never fully understood. Hearing his words, she felt her heart tighten with emotion. She realized that while she admired his strength, she had overlooked the silent battles he fought behind the image everyone saw. It was not weakness he was sharing, but the raw reality of being human in a world that believed he could never break. For the first time, she saw not the crown prince, not the poet, not the leader, but the man she loved. Tears welled in her eyes, not out of pain, but out of empathy. She stepped closer and held his hands, letting him know he no longer had to fight those emotions alone. The truth he revealed didn't divide them, it brought them closer. It was the emotional honesty his wife had longed for, the truth she wanted not to judge him, but to understand him. She finally knew the depth of what he carried. The palace atmosphere shifted. Where tension once hovered, a gentle calmness settled in. His wife told him that she didn't want perfection, she wanted partnership. She didn't want a man who hid his pain, she wanted one who trusted her enough to share it. Her reassurance melted the weight he had carried for years, allowing his heart to breathe with newfound freedom. Their conversation continued late into the evening as they discussed fears, hopes, dreams, and unspoken moments that had shaped their journey. The emotional walls between them quietly dissolved. They talked like two souls reconnecting after too long, rediscovering the comfort of vulnerability and the power of truth. It was a love strengthened, not shaken. Word never left the private chamber, but the palace staff noticed something different the next morning, an undeniable shift in the royal energy. Sheikh Hamdan walked with lighter steps, and his wife carried a glow that only comes from emotional closeness. Together, they radiated harmony, the kind born from honesty rather than appearance. The truth he revealed did something extraordinary, it restored balance. It reminded him that vulnerability is not a weakness but a bridge to deeper connection. And it reminded her that love is not just sharing joy but also sharing the weight of silent struggles. Their bond didn't just survive, it rose strong. In the days that followed, the palace seemed to breathe differently. The once quiet halls now echoed with a renewed warmth between the royal couple. Sheikh Hamdan found himself more open than ever, sharing thoughts he previously kept locked away. His wife listened with the patience of someone who understood that emotional healing is a journey, not a moment. Their conversations became softer, deeper, and more meaningful, strengthening the roots of their relationship in a way only honesty can. The royal advisors noticed the shift too. They admired Sheikh Hamdan's composure, but now they also witnessed a quiet sense of relief in him, as if a long-carried weight had finally been set aside. His leadership grew even more compassionate, his decisions more balanced, and his presence more grounded. It became clear that revealing the truth to his wife had not only transformed their relationship but had also given him the emotional clarity he needed as a leader. He was stronger because he was understood. His wife, on the other hand, felt a newfound purpose blossoming within her. She realized that her intuition had guided this emotional breakthrough, and she embraced her role not just as a royal figure, but as the heart that helped keep the crown prince steady. Her love became a shield for him, a quiet force that supported him in moments when the world's expectations felt overwhelming. She felt honored to be the one he chose to trust. Together, they created moments that felt sacred, unseen by the world, untouched by duty. They walked through the palace gardens at dusk, speaking gently about dreams and futures, about their family, and about the delicate balance of public life and private emotion. Each shared word added another layer to their renewed connection. They rediscovered the simple beauty of being two souls walking the same path, side by side. The emotional twist that began with one truth had now reshaped the very foundation of their love. It taught them that vulnerability is the doorway to deeper understanding and that even royalty must lean on love to survive life's pressures. Their story became a quiet testimony that the strongest relationships are not built on titles or appearances, but on trust, openness, and the courage to reveal the heart. And as they moved forward, the world would see not just a royal couple,